Hey guys, like Charlie Ware coming to you live again today. Remember yesterday I said that I was coming to you every day this week trying to give you some ideas on how to improve your health through eating and eating properly. Again, America is one of the most eating nations in the world and under-nurtured nations in the world, which is completely sad in my belief. And today I'm going to start with something very, very simple of how we look at what we're eating and why we're eating and how it's going to either increase your health or decrease your health. Remember, I always tell you over and over again that if you eat, it's going to do one or two things to you. It's going to increase your health, or it's going to increase your health, or it's going to decrease your health. No matter whatever you put in your mouth, it's going to do those one or two things. So either you're eating health or you're eating inflammation. So that's the way the body works. Again, you know, back in physiology, back to physiology, my professor told me, Dr. Igers, crazy guy, but loved me to death. He told me something very, very specific in a conversation I had with him. He said, if there's no inflammation in your body, there's no way pain or disease can live in there. If there's nothing inflamed, then your body's going to produce everything it's supposed to produce on a daily basis. So let's get back to the basics of how we should be eating, as well as I'm going to dive right into one of the most sensitive type things. And I say this because I want you guys to realize that whenever you eat something, it has to be cooked in something, either you bake, broil, steam, or whatever. So I'm going to jump into oils. The most common oil that we see out there is canola oil, vegetable oils, of course, olive oils, and different types of oils like that. So let me explain to you, to start off with, frying your food is bad. I don't care if you fry it for a little bit, you fry it for however long, but frying your food is bad. So let's go ahead and get that out of our head that, I can have a piece of fried chicken or fried fish or whatever, and it's still considered healthy. Anytime you bring any oil above a certain temperature, it starts to release certain carcinogenic things inside of it and cause those carcinogens to be in your body. Carcinogens are things that has been shown to cause cancer as well as inflammation inside of the body itself. So I don't care if it's olive oil, it can be extra virgin olive oil, it can be non-GMO olive oil, the best olive oil you've ever had in your life. As soon as you heat it beyond a certain point, there are certain carcinogens that's in that olive oil that's going to be released. Certain oils have higher burn rate, is what it's called. So something like how you doing, John? How you doing tonight? Something like a grapeseed oil or a few other oils, a grapeseed oil, peanut oil, and a few other oils have a higher burn rate, which means you can heat it at a higher temperature before it'll get to that rate of releasing those carcinogens. But again, you gotta remember, if you're frying something or something being fried, it's gonna stay at a higher temperature in order to do that. So it's releasing those carcinogens. Let's just go ahead and get that out of our head as far as like fried food is gonna be healthy for us. That's a nil. Okay, let's start right there. Now, what types of oil can you use to cook in? Of course, the easiest thing to do is to have if you're going to saute something at a lower temperature, it's going to be a good, non-GMO, natural meaning an organic olive oil, sunflower oil. Safflower oil is also another one that's good as well. That you can also use to cook in. The reason why I'm not going to say a peanut oil, because again, most peanuts are GMO peanuts, as well as people also still have peanut allergies too. You can also use coconut oil. Coconut oil has a higher burn rate, but again, you want to be very, very careful of heating it too high. So as I already said, if you're going to saute something at a lower temperature, you can saute it in some olive oil, some coconut oil, some safflower oil, or some sunflower oil as well. Those are some of the key ones, or some grapeseed oil as well, excuse me. Now, the oils that we have to stay away from, the canola oil, which technically canola oil is not even an oil. Canola is the name of a company that used to produce this rapeseed oil. Yes, I said rapeseed oil is where the canola oil originally comes from, and actually is from a Canadian plant where they actually is the actual plant, or the rapeseed is like a mustard seed plant, or is in the cabbage family. That's been shown to, have a higher burn rate, and is also cheaper. It's cheaper to produce, but unfortunately in other countries, this rapeseed oil is what people use to oil their cars or different machinery. So it's not a great quality oil you can use. Yes, they have the non-GMO ones, they have the organic ones, they have the ones that are supposed to be better quality, but again, it's a lower propensity or a lower functioning oil that's not even good for you. In fact, in some studies in Temple University, it showed that using rapeseed oil. I wouldn't even call it canola oil anymore. It's rapeseed oil. It's shown to actually interfere with some of your synaptic cleft processes. What that basically means, it interferes with some of your brain processes if you use it for a longer period of time. Now, you can find this canola oil in anything fried, like potato chips, and different pastries. Almost anything packaged is going to have some sort of canola oil, some sort of oil inside of it. Canola oil is one of the most used ones because it's very, very cheap to make. Because again, these mustard seeds or these rapeseed plants, you know that, if you plant a whole field of mustard seeds, it's very hard to sort of kill those. So they just plant fields and fields of it. So it's very, very cheap to produce. In turn, so basically when they're actually producing, they actually use different chemical processes to basically make the oil separate from itself. It's like one of the processes they use nickel to actually release some of the oil from the actual plant itself. So it's very, very processed, and it's something that was actually invented back in the 70s. Like I said, the canola company was one of the first ones to start to mass produce this oil that comes from the rapeseed plant. Another oil we want to stay away from is anything that's hydrated or partially hydrogenated oils as well. These are the oils that has been shown over and over again to create a lot of cardiac issues inside the body, thus creating a lot of inflammation. Now, if I'm talking to you as a sickle cell patient and you are eating things that have hydrogenated oil inside of there, and I'm telling you right now that it's causing cardiac issues with you, is causing basically, essentially, it's the same thing as if you had too much sugar inside your body. From a diabetic perspective, you kind of understand this. From a sickle cell perspective, I want you to understand that these little, molecules are shaped like little swords, just like that. Under a microscope, they look like little swords, and they do cut your microvilli, sorry, not microvilli, that's inside your stomach. They cut your arteries and also your capillaries and venules as well. So what that's doing is it's causing inflammation inside the body, because your body has to lay down more cholesterol to actually start to heal that stuff, which is going to again start to lay down more plaque, which start to actually clog up your arteries. So a lot of individuals, the reason why margarine is horrible for you, the reason why this Crisco, any kind of oil is sitting on your stove or sitting on a shelf that's solid, is actually bad for you, because of the fact that that's hydrogenated oil that's sitting there that should already be in a liquid form. Now, if you look at olive oil, it mostly stays in a cloudy but an oil state. That's how it should be in a natural state. These Criscos, these fake margarines, even this better than butter and all this kind of stuff that they're sort of building themselves as being vegan and things of that sort. They're not vegan. They are fake oils that you should not be consuming. And what's that essentially doing to your body is, again, it's causing more inflammation. From a sickle cell standpoint, what it's doing is creating more inflammation inside of the gut, not allowing you to absorb a lot of nutrients, as well as it's causing more issues with your veins and your arteries and your venules and your capillaries. And if you already have an issue with that and you're eating these things and it's blocking your nutrient uptake, what do you think is going to happen to your body long term? You can go into crisis. You'll be malnourished and things of that sort. From a diabetic standpoint, you're not getting enough nutrients in your side of your system, so you're eating these bad oils. And in fact, a lot of studies have shown that it's not the amount of sugar you're ingesting, it's the bad oils you're ingesting that's actually creating a lot of these diabetic crises as well. So your insulin level shoots up and you're not having the proper things inside of your system. So your body usually turns these good fats into either glucose and it stores it in different ways. If these bad oils are in your system, this just causes more and more inflammation. Again, the mucus that's produced inside your gut was originally designed to protect your gut from harming itself from these bad things. So it's like sort of packaging everything up and make you poop it out or also cough it back up in these little phlegm balls or whatever. But if you have this over and over again on a daily basis, you just create more inflammation inside of your stomach as well as inside your gut as well. So if you're already inflamed, you're not going to absorb any nutrients at all. So I want you guys to really realize that these hydrogenated oils, these packaged goods, 90% of these packaged goods, even if it's organic, has a form of hydrogenated oil inside there. You got to read these packages very, very keenly, because they change the language on them to show that, hey, look, no, we don't have trans fats inside of them, because again, they allow, the FDA allows about 10 to 15% of trans fat inside of even these non-trans fat packaged goods as well. That's why I tell people over and over again, stop eating packaged goods. Stop eating these cakes, these cookies, these different flours, these quick Betty Crocker, cakes and things of that sort. These icings, these things with all these colors inside of them, they have these trans fats. Even dairy creamer, or creamer for coffee, different sodas actually have the hydrogenated oils inside of them as well. The list goes on and on and on how they use these things, and you got to be very careful. This is one reason why when people ask me how to eat, I say eat food. Don't eat packaged good, because that stuff is going to be processed, and they have to process it a different way. And the reason why they actually use these hydrogenated oils is because it actually extends the shelf life. If you're using something that's sort of molding itself and it doesn't go bad, again, last time you saw a box of Crisco in the trash, you never see Crisco in the trash because it lasts on the shelf for years and years and years and years. They use this stuff inside of these packaged goods, these cakes and cookies, because it extends the shelf life of it. It makes it more stable. So if you're making this Cool Whip thing, it's not really Cool Whip or any sort of dairy you're eating. You're having a little bit of dairy and a lot of just plain oils that's going inside your system, and not the good oils. And now if you flip the script a little bit, the research shows that if you start to cook with coconut oil, the olive oil, and you also start to ingest it, meaning like you have these things in salads or whatever, your health actually spikes up, because again, these good oils are starting to actually add nutrients to your body, allowing you the synaptic clefts and things like that inside of your brain, inside of your nervous system. And actually been shown that if you are able to actually, how you doing, Kristen? If you actually are able to eat these good things, it's been able to show it stops diabetic neuropathy. It's been able to show it stops a lot of pain inside the body. It reduces a lot of inflammation. There's a ton of research just on coconut oil by itself on how it's actually improved health. Even the fact that it is solid, but again, it's the amount of nutrients inside of these things. So you can't compare apples to oranges, because again, I made the whole comment when I said that Crisco can sit on the shelf for years and years and years. Yes, even though if you see coconut oil is sitting on the shelf and it's in a solid form, but at the same token, it's a nutrient level. Crisco has no nutrients at all, none at all. That this coconut oil has so many phytochemicals still inside there that's been proven by science to actually help the brain out. And some studies have been showing that it's been reversing dementia and also Alzheimer's disease, because of the fact that it's been able to clean off some of the neurons, that a lot of damage that's been done as well. So you got to realize that when you cook, the basis of all eating is you have to cook your food. If it's not going to be raw, you got to cook your foods, and you also you need the proper oils in your system on a daily basis. I even tell my patients, you can still have ghee, because ghee is actually just an oily substance from either dairy or cow's milk, and the ghee actually has a lot of nutrients inside of it that a lot of times is anti-inflammatory. So you got to look at what you're doing. You got to look at what you put inside your body and what you start to cook your food with. It always starts from there. If you say you're eating like at least 2 or 3 times a week something fried, or even more than that, you're unhealthy. I'm sorry, you're completely unhealthy. If you're telling me that you're having at least 1 to 2 packaged things a day, packaged meaning like cakes, cookies, and macaroni and cheese, stuff like that, all the stuff that's already packaged, you're not doing yourself any favor. If you're telling me that if you're still eating dairy and you have like American cheese and things of that sort, you got to look at all the processes. American cheese is not real cheese. It's actually a lot of oil with some dairy and a lot of food coloring or turmeric mixed in there to make it look yellow and things of that sort. So you got to make sure that what you're eating is real food. This is the whole mantra of this week, is to be the fact that get you guys back to eating real food. Too many of you guys, had this habit of not wanting to have a habit of having a healthy life. You like the idea of it, but you want to get back to actually eating real food. So if you look down at your plate right now and you don't have at least 1 green on there, you don't have at least, some other type of colored veggies on there, or some sort of fruit on your plate, and your plate is mostly meat and some sort of starch on there, and that's all you have, think about what's that doing to your body on a daily basis. What nutrient levels have you had? And again, think about the word supplement. If you say, I take my supplements are designed to supplement what you can't get on a daily basis, but you still should eat your food and eat your nutrients on a daily basis. That's the basic concept right now I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Let's start with different oils first and foremost. Do a bunch of research. Look up, olive oil. Look up, coconut oil. Look up, grapeseed oil. Look at all these good oils to see the benefits of them. And then look up canola oil and see the origin of actual canola oil. Look up a lot of these vegetable oils. What the actual vegetable oil really originally was is these are leftover oils that have no nutrient content. even your oils you cook with should have some sort of nutrient content. You gotta make sure you're eating everything that's gonna add to your life, add to your health, versus taking away from it. Okay, guys, that's just my tip for the day. I know I rambled a little bit. I hope you guys got some information out of this, and I'm hoping you guys are understanding that I'm trying to give you a good pathway to now eating a healthy life. And towards the end of the week, I'm gonna try to do a few recipes with you guys as well to show you how easy it is to cook nice and healthy, and it's still full of flavor and everything else. Tomorrow I'll probably do something on the herbs. And because of the fact that, you know, the only way that we like to eat here is these days is how much sugar or how much salt we can put on something. But because I'm using herbs and spices to actually give it a better flavor and gives it a better feel as well. But for tonight, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment. You know, guys, you know, let me know if you actually are enjoying this. If you're not enjoying it, also let me know. You know, if I'm going to in the direction that you guys don't appreciate, just let me know that as well. Because again, I'm trying to, again, add value to you guys' life the best way I can. And for me, 90% of what I do inside my office with any patient that comes to my office is always going to be diet. I don't care if you have back pain, I don't care if you have sickle cell, I don't care if you have diabetes, hypertension, infertility, I don't care what it is you come in here with, you got to improve your diet in order to improve your health, okay, guys? So I'm going to keep giving you guys this information over and over again. Again, give me 2 thumbs up, some hearts, things of that sort. Let me know that you're listening to me. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.